This is my 9.02 writing styles assignment. The first question that we had to answer was, what difference do you notice in the writing style of the three articles which we read? Now, here are the three different articles that we read. There is the first one, and then here's the second one, and here's the third one. So we'll start here. The first one was very formal. It was written very well, kind of for me personally, being not exactly the best at reading and comprehension. It was a little difficult to understand, a little bit of dry information. It had a lot of information in it. It had this case study about Jonathan Tucker as an example. As we go through this article, you can see there's 11 pages of analysts and the case study. I've read a lot of case studies, and this was very well written, but again, I say a little dry and long. The second one, it was great, probably my third one. My favorite one. It gives us 50 tips to break walls in our family history. So it starts off with 1, 2, 3, and goes through page 5, where it continues going through, and it gives us further resources where we can go. There are a lot of ads and things on this page. Just seeing that makes me think, okay, they're trying to draw people to read it so that way people click on the ad so they can make their money. And so they do definitely write to a crowd that they want to draw in, and that so that way they can make their money on their page as well as give them information. Usually, this in a marketing term would be considered as a free. So they give things out for free, and then they advertise on their site. That's just about the writing. So they make sure that they can write to a level of of comprehension for people because they want more people. And then this last one was very personal. She started off with, I sat with a friend today, and so she wrote about that experience. And then she goes on and talks about how, we can look through and gives us some pretty good tips, look at the clothing because that would put them in the right year and stuff like that. So the second question was, why do you believe one article is more formal than the other two? This one, it was a published record. As you can see, it was a PDF, and there are page numbers along the top, so it is a published record, and this is an excerpt out of wherever, it's right here. It's reprinted from the National Genealogical Society Quarterly, and in June 2000. So this was actually published. So it had to be really formal because of that, because it was published in such a well-known article. It actually that was one of the national groups that I talked about in my previous that assignment, where they are well known for their publications, and it probably went through a lot of editing in order to get prepared for their publication. Where this one is a blog, you can see right up here, it's a blog. So this is her. It didn't need to be real formal, because blogs are kind of just have no real set anything. You can write as much as you want, as little as you want. You can write whatever you want. It doesn't have to go through editors or anything, but grammatical errors will detract as well as cut down on the credibility of the blog. And then this one, like I pointed out previously, they have a lot of ads throughout their site, and so This is their site that they are probably making some money off of because of the ads. And so it wasn't, this is where it's published. It didn't even go through a lot of editing as well. And so they can write a little bit less formative, but yet still they need to keep with the correct grammar and things to be able to have a credibility. So the next question is, in each article written appropriately for the content and publication types. I believe yes. Each one of these is well written for the type of publication. This was published in a well-known, magazine journal as well, and these are just kind of blogs and their websites to inform people who want to know a little bit more. This would probably be more for the professional, and these are more for the stay-at-home mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers that are looking into doing family history and do it as a hobby. What was the purpose for each of these? I kind of skipped ahead. So these are for hobbyists, genealogists. Say that 10 times fast. Hobbyists, genealogists. And these are for the professional genealogy world, where someone like me would actually hire someone to do their genealogy work, because I am just a hobbyist. This one, how does the language differ between the three articles? I kind of talked over that. These are less formative. This one is a little more formative, formal than this one she uses first person I. This still says talking, informing as a third person. And then this one is very formal, as I've labeled here at the top. It is very formal and is very professional for that realm. The next question is, how does the documentation of facts and sources differ between the three articles? As we'll start with this one has all sorts of citations. Every page, almost half the page, is citations. Lots and lots and lots of citations as we go through this whole thing. This gives it very good credibility, and so you can have a good sense that this is a very good, credible source. You can go ahead and check the sources yourself. This one, not very many sources. As you go through here, there is a quote, right here at the top. But as you go through, I don't think I saw actually any type of sourcing or any sources giving just ads. Lots of ads. Oh, that's a picture. Lots of ads. So not very many sources throughout here. And then this one, she gives some references of things that are related, but no sources. It just is a blog, so she can write whatever she wants, and she can think it's law, or it can be not, whatever suits the boat, floats the boat. And then how do the articles differ in their degree of detail? This one, I wish it actually had more. She was very quick, just kind of breezed over it. This gave pretty good detail, it gave the title of the thing, and then a little bit about a little more into it, a little more meat. So if we were comparing this to food, this one was probably a good dinner. This one was probably a breakfast that you grab as you're headed out the door. You always are hungry throughout the rest of the day. And this was a 5-course meal. This was completely full of information. A lot of information through here. And then what skill levels of genealogists? I kind of covered that. This one, hobbyist. This one, hobbyist as well. Maybe middle. I'll probably say this one was beginning, kind of like me. I understood it very well. This one, I understood it pretty good, but I'm sure someone who was more professional would get a lot more out of it. And so this is kind of middle. So number one, low, middle, and this one's professional all the way. Top, third, very, very, very professionally written for the professionals. Which type of article would I like to write? To tell you the truth, none, because I wouldn't be very good at any of them. But this one would probably be my way of writing. I'm very personable. I like to write my opinion. And so this would probably be the one that I would write, was a blog. Mainly because I probably wouldn't be able to find very many sources that support me, but I would need to be able to find those if I were to start a blog, so that way I could become more credible. Yep, and that was it.